but you can now start advertising with some of these LLMs. That's like a new thing that's coming out. So, think, hey, who's the best electrician in Sarasota? And then ChatGPT basically says, hey, the number one is electrician 123. Why? Because they paid the most, or, it's like cost per click or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that Google over the years in its search results page has changed how obvious it is of something that's an ad versus how it kind of blends in being a sponsored result or whatever. I'm hoping that we at least have that level of transparency in LLMs when we're seeing a result, and that it's not just baked in behind the scenes and we have
Yeah.
no idea if that answer we're getting or that recommendation
Well,
as we're
here's the
talking.
thing. Yeah, here's the thing that I'm thinking now that you mentioned that is I'm not so worried that it's a sponsored ad because I can then also do my research, right? Because every person, every human being on earth is eventually is going to have their own LLM, their own AI agent that says, hey, this is the best because ChatGPT says it's the best, but I did some legwork. And yes, in fact, they have 5,000 reviews, all 5 stars. They always show up on time. They have automations built in. You don't have to wait. There's no voicemail. So it'll also validate that, yes, in fact, they're the best. So it's kind of like, not only are you just pushing the number one person on your list, but you also have the means to validate that, yes, in fact, they should be up there, at least in the top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, the equivalent of Google's massive team that fights spam and people trying to exploit algorithms will probably be built into our agent and we'll have our own essentially anti-spam and scam function
Anti-spam
built in.
and scam,
It
yes.
will be crazy because that's always been one of the challenges. And no matter what we're looking at in digital is validation of, are they playing the games? Are they doing gray, black hat tactics to get themselves there? Or are they paying to get themselves there? Versus is it justified? And in some cases, it's justified, right? Because the advertiser is advertising to add another layer and make sure they don't get missed. And they are legit and should be there, like many of the clients that I work with, versus those that try to buy or cheat or exploit their way to get there too. And then being able to validate that, to your point.
Gotcha. Nice.